Okay, so we're going to now practice the grid method, and you're going to take a ruler. So when you see a ruler, there's inches side and this is centimeters side. So make sure you're on the inch. This line right here, which is out of focus. Let's zoom in a little bit. Oh, that looks nice. All right, so this is where you should line up your paper. This is 1 inch here, the line to the right of the number. Now we're gonna do a 1/2 inch, so this middle longer line is the 1/2 inch. So you start here, 1/2 inch, and then the number, and then another 1/2 inch there, and then there, okay? So you have to start with your photo, and you're gonna do a 1/2 inch. So you line up your corner with this, and then for every 1/2 inch, you're going to draw a dash. And take your time with this. A bunch of us will be walking around to help you. It's every 1/2 inch. And then you just stop at the 4 1/2, okay? Now the next part is you're going to move your paper up and take the ruler down to the bottom corner. Some of our brains want to keep going around the perimeter of the photo, but it's best to do the top first and then you go to the bottom of your reference picture. So they line up. Okay? So now I always joke we're going to match the top here. Sorry, it's missing out a little bit. Oh, lovely. Okay. Match the top of the ruler, or top of the photo with the ruler's edge. Hold it down, and then you can move the bottom until it matches up. But what I was saying is I always joke that now you're going to put Billy behind bars temporarily. Now what I'm doing is I use my pen and then I line up my ruler. So I put my Sharpie down, line up my ruler, slowly move my ruler at the bottom. And you do have to put pressure so that your ruler doesn't move on you and give you crooked lines. Okay, so now Billy's behind bars. Sorry, Billy. So then we're going to continue the grid. So every 1/2 inch, draw yourself dashes. And then come to this side, line up your corner to the start of the ruler. That's not the edge of the ruler, the start of the ruler. It's every 1/2 inch. Oh, I almost screwed up there. It's okay if you mess up. We'll have extra copies. You can erase. Let's see here. There we go. That looks a little off. Double check. Alright. Now we're going to put the grid up. I'm going to pause this and I'm going to do a grid over here as well, okay? You guys don't want to see that. Alright, so once you get your 1/2 inch grid on the photo and on the rectangle, now you're going to label the columns and the rows. So we're going to do A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I. Same over here. Now this is where some folks get messed up. We're going to start one with the first row. So do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And then we're going to do the same over here. So 1, okay, so now we don't have to worry about areas with nothing in them. We could really just focus on F4 and start her eyebrow there. Or you could go to E5 and start with her eye, okay? Now the cool thing about using a grid is that you can psychologically only focus on what is inside the square so that it is not overwhelming. So like an eye can be hard to draw, but if I can psychologically block out the, here. Now I would prefer you to trick your brain to do this, but if you need to, you could take extra paper, or if you have Post-its, that way you only focus on what's inside this square. And this was E5. So then over here, what is it? Over here in E5, right here, I can just draw what is seen here. Okay? So let me try and draw just a square and then I'll let you guys go. So E5, right here is kind of a sideways triangle. It doesn't go all the way to the corner, it goes up a little bit. So right here, I'm gonna draw a sideways triangle. I'm gonna draw it dark so you can see it, but I like to keep things light, okay? Now, of course, the triangle does have a curve, and this could be a little bit wider at the bottom, but I always start with simple shapes first, okay? That's the lunch bell. Then right here is another line where the tear duct is, so I can place that right about there. Now, what you already made was a grid, but it's called a grid within a grid. You can make another grid inside here if that's helpful. So over here, I'm gonna draw that, cut this in half. So that way I can tell like the crease starts around here in this bottom right square, and then it goes up through the top, and then it meets at the corner up here. So you could place that. But that's all I need for that square. And then you can take an eraser and erase out the little grid that you just made that you don't really need. And I had a student recently ask me if I think this is cheating, and absolutely not. This is the way artists work. And it's a tool so that you can try and make your portrait as accurate as possible, okay? So the goal is to go through each square and try to draw Billy here. So like in A1, there's really not much there, it's just hair, and if you want to, you can lightly draw it, but you don't have to. Then if I go to B1, it's just like from here over, and that's it. And then C1, there's not much, and you keep going down till you finally see some eyebrows and stuff. Or if you're like me, I like to start with the main piece and then go from there. So if I start here, then I can go to the next one. And let's see here. So in D5, if I slice D5 in half this way, you see how her eyelid, or the opening for her eye, where the eyelashes are, it's right around, it goes like this. And then it comes down. Matches up with the eye here, and then even her iris starts there, so I can place that. But then it circles down to the corner, which is really nice because then I can start in the corner and kind of match it up. And there's not really much of the black center yet. Now, I wouldn't really necessarily put the eyelashes in yet, but that's up to you. And that's it for that, for what's inside here. Okay? So take it square by square. You've got this.